So in a previous video we told you 5 things that the dealership said you must have. Now we're going to tell you 5 things that we think you really should have, but there may be a little more on the expensive side. Hey y'all, we're Jimmy and Lisa with FindUsCamping.
Today we're coming to you from one of our, I don't know that I should say favorite parks, but it's one of the parks that's really close to home. So whenever we have to come home for something, we're going to be here for a little while. This is one of the parks we like to stay at. It's right here on the river, and it is the Thousand Trails Chesapeake Bay. We will have a link up one of these corners for the video we've done. If you're interested in this campground, we've done a tour of it previously, so we'll link that there. We want to talk to you today about 5 things that we think are really important. These
aren't cheap things.
Yeah, these are a little more expensive, but we did discuss things that you have to have previously, and the things that dealers recommend. These are some things that, through our experience, we have found that we consider to be necessary, and then we're going to have one bonus at the very end, so stick around for that. The first one is going to be something that while we're packing up, he always gets in the truck and turns it on before we even hook up and get ready so that it can start monitoring, and that is
That's my tire pressure monitoring system to check all the tire pressures in our trailer.
And temperatures on the tires.
Temperatures, yes. So when we go down the road, of course you guys know tire pressures get hot and there goes a boat. So you hear the boat, there it goes. But anyway, it'll help you check the tire pressure, and it'll also check the temperature as you're going down the road. It has saved us already one time, so of course we'll never hook up without it. So
yeah, that one blowout paid for the whole system all by itself. And we have a friend that we were traveling with that his saved him, let him know a tire was going down before it ever actually blew.
So a lot of people ask us, what is your one main thing you guys put on your camper? And that is the number one thing. It's just like in your cars. Nobody wants to go down the road without knowing that your tires are going flat. So on your personal cars. So that is the number one thing that we really like, is the tire pressure monitor system. That way we feel more safe. That's not going to stop a blowout, and it's not going to stop damage, but it will stop.
If you've got a tire that's going down, or a tire that's getting really hot, that would draw your attention, that you could pull over and take care of it before it actually blows and causes physical damage to your camper. Another thing that when we got it, we didn't necessarily think it was necessary, but now that we've had it, it has come in handy, is our dash cam. It's really tiny, and it's up in the corner of the windshield. We don't even know it's there. It has a SD card in it, so it records all the time. When we're moving, it's recording, and it just goes in a loop, so it'll re-record over itself.
Thank goodness we haven't had to use it for us pulling the camper. You got 19,000 pounds. We have 19,000 pounds, and if somebody gets in front of you, they slam on the brakes, you run in the back of them, they go, you hit me, you hit me.
You hit me from behind, so it's got to be your fault.
Now we have proof that we did not hit you. So we were without a camper one day, sitting at a stoplight, and a lady pulled across the road in a green light, and the car never stopped, and they hit. And she come running over to us and said, did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? I said, well, yeah, I think.
Well, we also have a video of it, so.
So I explained what I thought happened, and she said, I don't know if that's what happened. And I said, that's what it seems like. And when we watched the video,
it was a little different than what he thought.
When something happens in a split second, you think this happens or that happens, and there's a lot of waves coming in right now. But anyway, so we were able to give her the card, and she was able to take it to the police department, and that helped. So we won't go anywhere without the dash cam. I've seen a lot of people go in front of us, slam on the brakes, they pulled out in front of us.
People don't realize how hard it is for you to stop. You can give yourself a safe following distance, and then somebody just cuts you off or pulls over. And especially people in little cars, they don't realize that it's going to take you a couple more minutes to stop than it will them. And they pull over and they slam on brakes, and then instantly it's your fault, even though they took up the space you had allowed. So
think about that one. They're kind of, like I said, these are kind of expensive. You can get cheaper ones up to the 4K.
I think that one was under $200 when we bought it. It wasn't super expensive, but
we will put links below to everything that we use. So if you want any of these things, you can just click in the link below, and I'll throw them in the comment. The first comment, we'll pin it to the top so you can see what we have and what we use in case you're interested in those. So our number 3 thing that we think is a pretty good investment.
Another camera, like who would have thought? It's another
cameras
camera.
are everywhere. We're using cameras here, cameras there. Everybody's using cameras now, but most newer campers now come pre-wired for their Fuzion backup camera.
And so you can get just the back, or you can get, they have them for the marker lights on the side, which we have those.
And we have one inside our garage in the toy hauler, so we can see the things moving around inside. So once again, it's just something that you don't really have to have, but to me it's a peace of mind when I'm running down the road. I can see what's behind me, coming up behind me.
You can see when somebody's beside you before, you know, like your car has the little sensors in the mirrors that tells you somebody's over there, but when you're pulling that long of a trailer, the trucks, sometimes you can configure in there that you're pulling a trailer, but they're only good for a certain length. And I mean, you know, like if you could have the camera there, that if you turn your turn signal on, that camera picks up and shows you what's over there. It's an extra set of eyes. So
plus it's a multi-purpose thing, because when we're backing in,
right,
I can see
so
what's
the
behind
back
me.
camera is, yeah, for when we're backing up. You know, you never know. And I'm out there trying to help him, but you never
Every
know.
once in
Maybe
a while
I don't see something.
every once in a while she gets in behind the camper a little bit, and I can't see her in the mirrors, and she's
but he
going,
can see me in the camera,
so I can
so
see
it
where
works.
she's going there. So once again, kind of an expensive thing, but it's helped us over the years.
And some of them even come with the backup cameras now. Most of the new rigs, I think, are at least pre-wired, but some of them even come with the camera already installed.
Some of them come with a TPMS now.
And I
a lot of the
think
newer
some of them
campers
will even work in conjunction with your truck. Like we have a separate monitor that sits up on our dash, but I think some of them you can even wire into your different, I want to say Chevrolet, but I might be wrong.
Chevrolet does it, but they are hardwired in. They're not wireless
yeah,
right now.
so, you know, there's options out there. And then the next thing, oh, here comes the wind, is going to be something else we've touched on many previous videos, but we think it's really important, is a surge protector. It doesn't, ours is hardwired in. You don't have to do that. You can buy ones that plug in right at the pedestal. Before we had one that was hardwired, we had the one at the pedestal. You plug it in and there's a sequence of lights, and I'm sure they're different for different surge protectors, but once those lights light up in the right configuration, then the power's good and you can plug your rig into it. And if they don't light up based on how they light, you can see maybe the ground's bad or it has a reverse polarity. These are all things we've run into.
Yeah, we've been to a lot of older campgrounds, and those older campgrounds have old wiring, old breakers, old outlets. All that stuff's old, and when you plug it in, you think you're golden, you're good to go, and then all of a sudden it blows one of your refrigerator, it blows your excuse me, it blows your microwave, it blows something inside the camper.
Or even it starts a fire and then you've lost your whole rig. And granted, surge protectors are a couple hundred, probably up to several $100 depending on what you get, but at the end of the day, that's worth saving your entire rig. I mean, just the refrigerator could cost you more than that. So
yeah, when we plug ours in, it does a 2-minute test, I think it is. We'll not let any power in for 220 seconds. It might be longer than 2 minutes, but I think it's 220 seconds. It does its power checks, and then once it allows it, you'll hear a big pop, and
then it's letting the power in. So if it's not good, our rig won't even run. Like, it will not even let the power come in. So again, doesn't have to be the more expensive, doesn't have to be hardwired in. It can be one you hang on your pedestal.
Just get you a surge protector.
Side note, on your pedestal, if you hang it on your pedestal, I've noticed a lot of people have different locking mechanisms, because as much as we hate to admit it, there are people out there that would take that from you when you're not around, because they're expensive. So
you come home and your power's off and you don't have a surge protector
if you're
anymore,
going to get one that is exterior, you know, hanging on your pedestal, you might want to look into what you need to do to lock that and keep people from stealing it. Sorry. And the number 5, right, is, again, not super duper expensive. And although I want to say we use it, we think it's a necessity, I guess it doesn't have to be, is we carry a lightweight floor jack in the back of the truck.
I don't know if you ever try to lift up one of those campers with that little bottle jack or your little scissor jack that comes in your car and your truck and all that, but it's pretty heavy to try to pick up, and then you're on the side of the road and it's blowing around. So
you're on the side of the road, and let's face it, you want a tire change on the side of the road. You want that to happen as quickly as possible. So anything you can do to make that happen more quickly. So
I just got a 3-ton light
like it was a
hydraulic
cheap one.
jack. Yeah, well, about cheap, but
Okay, well, I want to say for jacks, as
For
far as
jacks, they
jacks
weren't
go,
cheap.
it was fairly
but
inexpensive.
you want one pretty light, because I put it in the back of my truck and it lays there the whole time until we hopefully never need it. And when you need it, you don't want to be struggling with this great big heavy jack, or you don't want
Well-
to pull up your seat and get your jacks and all that kind of stuff.
And when you need it, your trailer's probably hooked to the
if
back
you
of
have
your
a fifth
truck,
wheel,
like ours, so it's not easy to drag it out of the back of the truck. So you're gonna have to lift it up over the side and hand it down to somebody that's
and
on the
I
ground.
hate putting anything over the sides of my
So
trucks.
you don't want the big heavy jack at that point, because I'm not gonna lift it up, but I can catch it outside, and the big heavy one, I'm gonna probably just stand there with it until he gets out of the truck to put it down. The light one, I can get down and put on the ground. So we've used that twice with both us and our friends that had the TPMS go off, and we needed to change a tire on the side of the road, and it made the process way easier and way faster.
It's a lifesaver. I'm once again, it's one of my 5 things that I'm not going to go down the road without.
Yeah, we don't leave without
We
it.
actually bought another one for the house, so we have one for my son when he's in the lawn care side of it and he needs to do some work on the mowers or whatever it is. We have another one because he kept saying, "You're stealing my jack, you're stealing my jack." So
So we have the light one in the truck. The one he's got in the garage is a little
a
heavier.
lot heavier.
So we don't want that one with us.
Now for our bonus, once again, these 5 things I will not leave home without. And when you do blow that tire and you do get your jack out and you do lift that side of that camper up, now you're out there with your 4-way and you're trying to break those things loose, and you're
trying
up
to do it
there-
quickly because you
and
want to
you're
get
up
off
there
the
and you're
road.
jumping up and down on it to try to break them loose, and you can't get them loose, and the cars are whizzing by. Now I just go into the side compartment and I get my impact. And
Is cordless,
Cordless,
wireless, whatever you want to
yeah.
call it, rechargeable. The one we have is from Lowe's. It's Cobalt, and he is in love with it. So
I've used that many times. I've used it to take the wheels off, to check the brakes on them. I've used them to change the tires. We've used them to take lawnmower blades off. We used it to do a lot of different things. So basically you just put your, ours is 15, 16, I think. You put it, no, it's not 15, that's for lawnmowers.
I
but,
don't know.
we have a socket we put on there, and I can just take that tire off real quick. So we pump we get the tire up off the ground with the jack, and go with the 5, pull it off. We bring the other tire up, and bring the tire back down, and we go down the road, and we'll go to a nice safe place like a truck stop or whatever it is, and check the torques on them and make sure that we torqued it back down to where it really needs to be. But
at least it gets you off the side of the road more quickly than standing there fumbling with tools. And if you're not strong enough, like I wouldn't be able to change it without it, because I wouldn't probably be able to get the bolts off.
So basically, I think almost all of these are more safety than anything else.
Yeah.
So recap on the 5 real quick is, let's go backwards then.
Recap on the 5 is tire pressure monitoring system,
That way maybe you won't have that blowout and need those other 2 things we have.
dash cam for just in case somebody cuts you off, or even if you're not involved, like we weren't that time, you have a
Or
record
you can
of an
record as you're
accident.
driving down the road. If you see something you really love, like you're in the mountains and it's snowy over there,
Yeah.
you can record it and you can play that back later on. Or you see a car that you really like going down the road, you have a video of it. So it's not just
When
for
you're
your
traveling,
safety,
it's fun to have. And then if you need it for a safety reason, you've got it. Number 3 was dash cam backup camera and marker light cameras. Then was the surge protector, then was the jack, and the bing 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 bonus is the impact, cordless rechargeable impact, because you never know when you might need a drill anyway, so it's all good.
So hopefully you guys are liking these videos. These videos here hopefully will help somebody down the road. I know it's saved us many times. So if you're getting value out of these videos, please make sure you give us a thumbs up.
Ring the bell. If you
Subscribe.
really like them, subscribe.
To our channel. We'll be doing a lot more of these. If you guys have something we didn't mention that's
That
better
you
than
think
those
is
5
like
that I need to put on
the
our
best
rig,
thing ever?
let us know, because I'm always looking for things to make it more safe on the road, quicker to do things on the road,
More safe, more convenient.
any of that stuff. So
More
make sure you
efficient.
comment below and let us know if there is something else that you use that we should be looking into also. So that's basically it for this video, guys. We'll
Till
see
the
you
next time you find us camping.